Welcome back. When one sector which everyone has a lot of interest in is the chemical space. While calendar year 2023 did see a lot of impact of inventory destocking, lower demand, what is the outlook for 2024? There's been a lot of movement in crude oil prices and other raw material prices as well. To discuss this and more, we are joined by K Natarajan, the Executive Director and CEO at Galaxy Surfactants. Mr. Natarajan, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us and Happy New Year to you. Well, you know, we have spoken in the past and there was an indication that maybe things are getting better. Can you give us a sense of how Q3 was, especially in the global markets? Are you seeing some recovery, and is it something that is expected to continue in Q4?
Oh yeah, so if you thanks for having me on the show, and then also wish you a very happy new year. If you see, based on the commentary that we gave in Q2 results that we declared, things have started improving in the Africa, Middle East, Turkey market for us. We also saw some green shots towards the end of the quarter in US and to some extent in Europe. And that momentum in terms of improvement is continuing into this quarter as well. We only have to now gear ourselves to see as to what can be the implications of this Red Sea issue that's going on. It's too early to be commenting on that, but yes, that can be a headwind that we need to find a way to navigate.
Mr. Natarajan, good afternoon. Thanks a lot for joining in. The last time we spoke, you had mentioned that your EBITDA per ton guidance that you have is around 19,500 to 20,500 rupees. Do you stick to that based on the trends that you've seen in the third quarter? Do you wish to revise that higher? And B, you also mentioned that there was volume growth that you saw for the company after 10 quarters. Do you see that trend sustaining and going into FY25 as well?
Yes, no, I would not want to be hazarding any guess or giving any new because then what I told in the previous this thing has no relevance. So we'll stick to the EBITDA guidance of 19,500, 20,500 per metric ton. We had a volume growth. Yes, we grew by about close to 8.5% in the H1 of last year, and we do expect that this momentum would continue.
Okay, all right. So you expect momentum to continue, and that is something which the street seems to like as well. But I just want to understand and come back to the Red Sea point. Are there any freight rate increases that you are seeing right now? Is there any disruption at all, or is it too early to talk about it at all?
No, there will be, because that's very clear. That's there in all over in the press. There are war surcharges. There are also rerouting that is happening, which is going to take you through a circuitous route. But right now, what we are focusing on is in terms of how do we engage with the shipping industry and with our freight forwarders and shipping companies to see how we are able to get material reached to the customer, because there has been a sudden impact in terms of the movement of material. So that's what we are working on as a team. Yes, with regard to the cost, there obviously will be cost increases for sure. Freight rates will go up.
But have you seen that impact, Mr. Natarajan, on a company-specific level? Has there been an impact because of this issue for transporting your materials as well when it comes to your exports?
There will be, because over the last 15 days, because when the rerouting is happening, obviously the shipping companies are revising their charges. So that will be, but then that's happened only in the last 15 days. So we need to see as to how we navigate as we move forward. We are in discussion with all our customers, with the shipping industry, and to see as to how do we mitigate this impact.
Okay, so we'll get greater detail from you when you report your Q3 numbers on what the demand situation is like. You know, there was also a shift from premium products to general products. You know, I would say mass usage products from premium products. Is that still happening because of large inflation, or you're seeing some uptick in that particular high EBITDA margin products?
That will be too early to comment, because what is important is that the destocking that was happening in US and the subdued sentiments in Europe have started improving. So it'll be too early to comment on that, but we do see if this momentum continues in terms of restocking that is happening now, then we should see that consumers with the declining inflation would start buying certain prestige products in which our specialty ingredients go into a very major way. So yes, so probably we need to wait for a quarter to see as to how this gets sustained.
Right. How is debottlenecking progressing, Mr. Natarajan? Because the last time we spoke, you mentioned that you're going to use most of the capex for debottlenecking, and you spent around 75 to 80 crore rupees as well. And when do you expect this destocking as well? There is two parts to the question. The destocking bit you mentioned that we completed in the next 3 to 6 months. When do you see that heading towards completion?
Destocking by our customers, majorly this was a problem in the US and to some extent Europe as well. So we do see, based on discussions with our customers, that this probably has now tapered off, and things should start looking up in terms of customers starting to restock. And the other question I didn't probably register. Can you repeat that?
No.
It was related to destocking itself, Mr. Natarajan, but we do take your point. The chemicals industry, it is seeing changes by the day, and now this Red Sea phenomenon has entered the macros as well. So, of course, we'll touch base with you again when Q3 numbers are in place. But thank you so much for joining us today and giving us all those details.
That the EBITDA guidance that we had given was 19,500 to 20,500 per metric ton, not 21,500.
Okay, we'll just change that. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Mr. Natarajan. All right. With that, we'll take your leave on this edition of Midcap Radar, but do stay tuned. MF Corner when we return.